House will come to order. Representative Christensen, for what purpose do you rise?
Point of personal privilege, Mr. Speaker.
State your point of personal privilege.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Today, 4 clinical leaders from Poriya Hospital in northern Israel are visiting our state capital. They're here as guests of the Jewish Community Relations Council, as well as the Jewish Federation of Greater St. Paul, which, believe it or not, includes my district. Poriya is close to the Syrian border, just miles away from the Syrian border, and their hospital spends a lot of time treating injured Syrians, especially Syrian children. They're in Minnesota. They're our guests for a couple of days to share the types of medical conditions they see and treat among Syrian civilians, particularly children who have no other access to medical care. If you have time, please drop by the governor's dining room between noon and 1:30 to say hello and meet Dr. Owen, the director general of the hospital, Dr. Karawani, who leads the trauma unit, Dr. Sadok, and Mr. Mansour, the hospital's head nurse. Together, this team of Jewish, Christian, and Druze Israelis are working as a family, all supporting the same mission to provide care and healing to the diverse communities in Israel's north. And I invite everyone to please give them a very warm welcome to Minnesota.
Calendar for the day. First bill on the calendar for the day is Senate File number 2692. The clerk will report the bill.
Senate File number 2692, number 2 on the calendar for the day, an act relating to military affairs.
Recognize the author from Stearns, Representative Howe, to your bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. Senate File 2869 directs the Adjutant General of the Minnesota National Guard to provide access to the National Guard Association to provide information to the state-sponsored life insurance program. This makes it available to all members of the Minnesota National Guard. This life insurance program provides insurance, free insurance to all new members of the Minnesota National Guard. What happens is after a year, then they have to sign up for it. The issue is last year, of all the new members of the Minnesota National Guard, not a single one of them had this offered to them. Not a single one took advantage of this program. I myself, what's important about this insurance program is once you retire, you're able to take it with you. Not knowing that this was available to me when I retired last year, I did not take advantage of this program and ended up losing all my insurance and had to go out and do all the physicals to get life insurance again. The Department of Military Affairs approves of this. There will be no cost to the state or to the Department of Military Affairs. At this time, I've had no opposition to the bill. And it did pass the other body unanimously, and so members, I ask for your support.
There are no amendments at the desk. The clerk will give the bill its third reading.
Third reading, Senate File number 2692.
Third reading. Discussion to the bill. Member from Washington, Representative Detmer.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and Representative Howe for bringing this forward through my committee. And over the session, we've heard many different bills that have come through constituents and through people that are active duty, also reserve and National Guard. This deals with the National Guard and our state National Guard, and it's important that they get the information when they take the oath, and also when they leave the National Guard, they get this information so they can continue their insurance. Thank you.
Further discussion? Seeing none, the clerk will take the roll on the bill. The clerk will close the roll. There being 120 ayes and 0 nays, the bill is passed and its title agreed to. Next bill on the calendar for the day is House File 3199. The clerk will report the bill.
House File number 3199, number 3 on the calendar for the day, an act relating to the military.
Recognize the member from Cass, Representative Poston, to your bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, House File 3199 clarifies the intent of the Minnesota Military Code. The change is to conform both procedurally and substantively to all United States acts and regulations that address the same topics in our state statutes in chapters 190 through 93, unless is expressly provided by Military Code of Justice in 192A, House File 3199 is a Minnesota Department of Military Affairs agency initiative. The Department of Military Affairs made some changes to the Minnesota Code of Military Justice a few years ago to maintain its general alignment with the Federal Manual for Courts Martial. The department heavily relies on the Manual for Courts Martial as a procedural guide since it's well established and the basis of legal procedure training for the department's legal staff. The department identified minor differences in the rules of evidence under Minnesota law and rules of evidence under the Manual for Courts Martial. The department's staff judge advocate suggested adding these 3 words, procedurally and substantively. And this just helps us align with the Manual for Courts Martial, Federal Manual for Courts Martial. And with that, I ask you for a green vote.
There are no amendments at the desk. The clerk will give its bill its third reading.
Third reading, House File number 3199.
Third reading. Discussion to the bill. The member from Washington, Representative Detmer.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I guess it is kind of a military Veterans Day here on the House floor. And again, words do matter. And when the federal government comes with some terminologies that we need to adopt here with what we're doing here at the state, it's important that we follow through. And thank you, Representative Poston, for bringing this forward. Thank you.
Further discussion. The member from Stearns, Representative Howe.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And what's important about this is basically federal conformity with the National Guard, with the military affairs, so it's important to make it happen. Thank you.
The member from Cass, Representative Poston.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. It conforms with the federal rules. Thank you.
Further discussion. Seeing none, the clerk will take the roll on the bill. Clerk will close the roll. There being 120 ayes and 0 nays, the bill is passed and its title agreed to. Next bill on the calendar for the day is Senate File 3004. The clerk will report the bill.
Senate File number 3004, number 4 on the calendar for the day, an act relating to state government.
I recognize the member from Aiken, Representative Lueck, to your bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. What Senate File 3004 does, it would add a veterans block, veteran status, to the Minnesota's open appointment process. The governor plus the agency heads appoint every year several hundred people to various commissions and committees where they serve in a variety of roles. That single page form has a lot of self-identification things. You can provide your sex, you can provide your age, a whole great number of things voluntarily. All we're asking is to simply add veteran yes or no. And again, it's voluntary, and it's important. The Secretary himself actually testified in our committee in favor of this. This is just one way that we can continue to track and see where our veterans are and what they're doing. It's important. The reason we're doing this information gathering at the end of the year, the Secretary of State compiles this information, feeds it back to the governor and the legislature, and is available to the public to just see the kind of demographics we have within those agencies. So, members, I would ask for a green vote.
There is an amendment at the desk. The clerk will report the amendment.
Lesh moves to amend Senate File number 304 as follows, and the amendment is coded A18-0875.
Recognize the member from Ramsey, Representative Lesh, to your amendment.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Representative Lueck, you and I and Representative Detmer talked about this a little bit yesterday, and I wasn't sure in the rather restricted amount of time that we had to talk about it that I was able to convey what it actually did, after which you expressed your reservation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain what this does, and then I'd like to get your response. And if you think this is really a problem, I don't think it should be, but if it really is a problem, then I'd be open to withdrawing the amendment. But this is a cleanup from the ban the box bill that passed overwhelmingly with bipartisan support a few years ago. Members, it passed this body 130-0 in the final passage vote. In 2013, Minnesota also passed a ban the box for private employers. So this isn't, we're not just talking that this is for government agencies, it's private employers that this applies to. But it didn't make it into this section of statute. For some reason, it was an oversight. And so in speaking with the Secretary of State, it was a suggestion of a good idea that, well, let's make sure that, we cover this so that people, veterans or otherwise, are not unreasonably excluded based on a youthful indiscretion. Remember that this amendment, the ban the box, imposes no requirement that an employer hire an individual with a criminal record. It also doesn't compel employers to interview anyone, and in this case it would be for boards. It's the same thing. However, it does require that in these cases that you can't ask them that on the form, to indiscriminately exclude them. And I think about this in the context of many of my friends who are veterans and have returned back home with PTSD, have gotten in a little trouble before they were able to fold back into their support network of other veterans, get support. And if we want these veterans to serve on these committees, we hope that they wouldn't be unreasonably excluded because they had a disorderly conduct after they had too much to drink or something, and later on got that taken care of and paid their penalty. So we believe that this should apply to boards and agencies just like it does to employers. So this is an opportunity to do additional vetting and evaluation of applicants after their written application is considered. And that would be the appropriate time for evaluating whether any criminal history is an appropriate criteria by which to exclude a veteran or otherwise to serving on these state commissions. I am supportive of your bill as proposed, Representative Lueck, and I would also support appreciate the support of this amendment as it's an opportunity for us to clean up language that was missed from the ban the box bill that passed from all of you. All of you voted yes on this, overwhelmingly with bipartisan support just a few years ago. So if you could just respond to that and let me know after hearing that if you'd be okay with it. I know that you said you didn't want to get into a discussion about whether or not veterans or felons or anything, and that's certainly not my intent to do any of that. So if you could just respond to that.
Representative Lueck.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and Representative Bliss. So folks understand it. No, I certainly do not support this amendment. Here's why. First of all, the element that Representative Lesh is talking about is in the mandatory information section. That had no hearing, and I don't know why we would have discussed that in veterans. It's had no hearing in public safety. It's had no hearing in government operations. I wasn't here, I don't believe, as many years ago as you indicated, so I'm not aware of this overwhelming vote to change some things in that chapter of law. But again, the important thing is here, what we're doing is adding veterans, yes or no, in the voluntary section of that application form. The section that Representative Lesh is talking about is mandatory information. It's a whole different section of the application process. And the bottom line is, and I think literally all veterans, pretty much everybody agrees, we want an employer or the person making an appointment to these non-paying commissions to have all the available information when they make that appointment. And to tinker with the mandatory element of this application form, I think, is way beyond the scope of our intent here. At this point, I certainly don't support the amendment, but as I and others have said to Representative Lesh, this looks like something that needs to be dealt with on its own merits in the next session. Thank you.
Representative Lesh.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Well, Representative Lueck, I understand you weren't here when this was passed overwhelmingly by all members on all sides. But I don't consider it to my job to get you up to speed on what the rest of us have all agreed to here previously, and perhaps between now and next session, other folks can bring you up to speed on that, and you can withdraw your objection to what should be a very reasonable provision. So with that, Mr. Speaker, I withdraw the amendment.
Representative Lesh withdraws the 0875 amendment. There are no amendments at the desk. The clerk will give the bill its third reading.
Third reading, Senate File number 3004.
Third reading. The member from Hennepin. Representative Rosenthal.
Thank you. It took you a minute, Mr. Speaker, but thank you. Members, this is a great bill. Thank you, Representative Lueck, for bringing it forward, and I urge a green vote.
Further discussion, the member from Washington, Representative Detmer.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And again, when we put this bill together, Secretary of State Simon was with us, and we discussed the whole program that he runs. And this is something that he felt that we should be doing. Thank you.
Further discussion. Seeing none, the clerk will take the roll on the bill. Clerk will close the roll. There being 121 ayes and 0 nays, the bill is passed and its title agreed to. Next bill on the calendar for the day is Senate File 1703. The clerk will report the bill.
Senate File number 1703, number 6 on the calendar for the day, an act relating to veterans.
Recognize the member from Cass, Representative Poston, to your bill.
Mr. Speaker, members, Senate File 1703 designates July 16th as Atomic Veterans Day in Minnesota. This day is to honor veterans who were exposed to radiation and contamination while in service to our country. The federal government defines an atomic veteran as veterans who, as part of their military service, participated in above-ground nuclear tests between 1945 and 1962, or were part of the U.S. military occupation forces in or around Hiroshima or Nagasaki before 1946, or were held as POWs in or near Hiroshima or Nagasaki. The National Association of Atomic Veterans estimates that more than 1 million U.S. veterans from all service branches were firsthand participants in nuclear weapons test detonations from July 16, 1945 until November 23, 1992. Exposure to ionized radiation particles has caused severe health anomalies in many of these veterans and has caused generic mutations to the children of a number of these veterans. July 16th is designated as Atomic Veterans Day because it was on July 16th, 1945, that the first atomic bomb, codenamed Trinity, was dropped in New Mexico. Up until this point, our atomic veterans have not been honored because they all took an oath of secrecy, and that oath of secrecy was in place until 1996. It's time that they get the honor that they deserve. This bill just recently passed the Senate 67-0. I appreciate your green vote to honor our atomic veterans.
There are no amendments at the desk. The clerk will give the bill its third reading.
Third reading, Senate File number 1703.
Third reading. The member from Hennepin, Representative Rosenthal.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you, Representative Poston. My father served in World War II and was one of the first people into Japan after the bombings. And this does a great service to those veterans that are still around. My father, unfortunately, is not, but they deserve the recognition, and thank you. And I urge a green vote.
The member from Washington, Representative Detmer.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and Representative Poston, again, for bringing this on. This was actually brought forward in our committee back in 2017, so it's taken a while to get it in the shape that we wanted to get it onto the House floor. And also, Representative Poston done some research on this. You have a handout that was just handed out to you. And it's just about time that we recognize those men and women that have served in our military during that time frame. Thank you so much.
The member from Wright, Representative O'Neill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. And I wanted to give you a little bit of the other side of the story. Representative Daniels and myself have a great uncle, Farrington Daniels. Farrington Daniels was asked by the White House to work on the Manhattan Project to develop the nuclear bomb. He was a man of peace. He also is credited with being one of the pioneers of solar energy. He didn't want to participate in such a project, but he did because he wanted to save the lives of those by ending the war. So I just want to get on the record and thank our great uncle Farrington Daniels for his sacrifice, his ingenuity, for stopping the war. He was the director of the Metallurgy Center in Chicago. so in developing the weaponry. So there were many, many people involved in this, including those scientists and those that were carrying out the lab, the techs, all of those that were involved in this. And he was deeply, deeply moved, and again, did not want to be a part of it because he was a man of peace. But he agreed to on behest of the president at the time. So just want to think about all of those that also were involved on the other side of this. So thank you, Representative Poston, for bringing this forward. And I had mentioned that in the Veterans Committee, but just to think of the other side as well. Thank you.
Further discussion? Seeing none, clerk will take the roll on the bill. The clerk will close the roll. May Quaid votes aye. There being 122 ayes and 0 nays, the bill is passed and its title agreed to. Next bill on the calendar for the day is Senate File 3262. The clerk will report the bill.
Senate File number 3262, number 7 on the calendar for the day, an act relating to local government.
I recognize the member from Beltrami, Representative Bliss, to your bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Senate File 3262 codifies the Purple Heart cities and counties in state statute. This bill came to us from the Military Order of the Purple Heart. Cities and counties may choose to honor United States military personnel who received the Purple Heart for being killed or wounded in battle, serving their country by becoming a Purple Heart city or Purple Heart county. A city or county is designated a Purple Heart city or Purple Heart county by passing a proclamation or resolution at a city council or board meeting. County board meeting. Purple Heart cities and counties may honor the Purple Heart recipients by designating a parking space at City Hall or the county government center for Purple Heart recipients, erecting signage at the city or county limit designating the city or county as a Purple Heart city or county, posting a plaque at City Hall or the county government center, proclaiming August 7th as Purple Heart Day every year. The Military Order of the Purple Heart will assist in drafting the proclamation and cover any costs for the signage. There was no opposition in this bill when it was heard in the Veterans Affairs Division or Government Operations. It passed the Senate 67-0. I ask for your support. Thank you.
There are no amendments at the desk. The clerk will give the bill its third reading.
Third reading, Senate File number 3262.
Third reading. Discussion. The member from Washington, Representative Detmer.
Well, thank you, Mr. Speaker, and this brings up the last military veterans bill for today. I think we'll have more coming later on in the next sessions. But again, you should, members, you should maybe talk to your cities, your counties about contacting the Military Order of the Purple Heart, which is one of the 9 chartered organizations, veterans organizations that are chartered by the federal.
Representative Detmer, members, if we could keep our conversations to the alcove or the retiring room.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Military Order of the Purple Heart, they again, as Representative Bliss commented, that they support this bill and they provide all the plaques and the signs for your cities, your municipalities, your counties. And all they need to do is contact the Order of the Purple Heart, and they will get the application for you. And so if next time you go to your city council meeting or your county board meeting, bring this up to them. See if they want to do that for their city. The signages can be put right on the road signs as people come into your city, and that would be a great thing to support this. Thank you.
The member from Hennepin, Representative Rosenthal.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you, Representative Detmer. I think that's a great idea for us to contact our local communities. Thank you, Representative Bliss, for bringing this forward. It's a thing that should be cherished, and thank you for bringing it forward. It's a green vote for me, and I think it should be a green vote for all of us.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, the clerk will take the roll on the bill. Clerk will close the roll. There being 122 ayes and 0 nays, the bill is passed and its title agreed to. Motions and resolutions. There are copies of the non-controversial motions on the House desk and online. If there are no objections, we will take action on these motions first. Hearing no objections, the motions prevail. Announcements. The member from Hennepin, Representative Carlson L.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, the DFL members of Ways and Means will meet in room 272 at 2 o'clock.
The representative from Sherburne, Representative Knobloch.
Mr. Speaker, members, the Republican members of Ways and Means will meet at 2 o'clock in room 400 North. The Supplemental Finance Conference Committee will begin at 3:30 in room 1200 of the Senate Office Building, 3:30.
Further announcements. Representative Pepin.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that when the House adjourns today, it adjourns until 10 a.m. Thursday, May 10th, 2018.
Representative Pepin moves that when the House adjourns today, it adjourns until 10 a.m. Thursday, May 10th, 2018. All those in favor say aye. All opposed, no. The motion prevails. Representative Pepin.
I move that the House do now adjourn.
Representative Pepin moves that the House do now adjourn. All those in favor say aye. All opposed, no. The motion prevails, and the House stands adjourned until 10 a.m. Thursday, May 10th, 2018.